At the end of the day, electoral politics, first past the post with its strengths, limitations. The question is, we all want, I think, a vibrant opposition. The opposition claims, Prakash, Narayan, though, that institutions now are ranged against it and it isn't a level playing field. The government says, look, even in the Congress days, it was no different. Do you see a difference between what it was in majority governments during the Congress age and majority governments now, where, according to the opposition, every agency, every institution is being used to browbeat them? It's not a level playing field anymore.
Rajdeep, I don't want to indulge in whataboutery, but I've lived too long not to recognize that many of these things happen time and again. We've had MPs being forced to resign from parliament en masse during National Front days on Bofors issue because there was no response. We have seen during emergency what happened. And we all were exultant with joy when emergency was over, when Janata came to power. Then very soon we realized it was only change of players, no change in the rules of the game. So I refuse to be apocalyptic about any particular phase of our national life. We are going through it. Our democracy is robust, messy, somewhat dysfunctional, and seriously flawed. No question about it. But it is real democracy. Let's not in any way doubt that. Having said that, take this current case of this misguided youth attacking the parliament very foolishly. It was a serious breach of security. We were lucky that it was not terrorists who could have caused havoc. There are only three possible responses in a rational society: governing party or opposition. One, how do you tighten security to prevent this breach of security in future? Two, how do you improve the protocol so that the MPs will not give passes without knowing the antecedents of people? Three, how do you ensure justice to the people who violated the security? Instead, we created a tamasha in the country. One side says only Home Minister must speak. The other side says Home Minister will not speak. Both are meaningless responses in my view.
Right.
It is zit. Both sides holding fast not to a principle but to a fetish, holding the country to ransom. There's no hero here. Both are guilty parties. Let me give you a second thing. Suspension en masse is actually foolish on the part of the government. Forget democracy, forget grand constitutional notions. It's actually pretty bad politically. What is the great thing you're accomplishing? Nothing. And the laws that you enacted, the three criminal laws, they came after 150, 160 years, at least two of them. Criminal justice system is in an awful mess in this country. There are 3.5 crore criminal cases alone pending in the country, the largest number in the world, and twice the number of civil cases, again unusual in the world. Our rule of law system is in shambles. Here is an opportunity to actually have cool deliberation. Take some more time. Study it more. There's no hurry. There's no political necessity. There's no advantage. There's no hurry. You could have taken time in the committees. You could have had a detailed debate for a week or 10 days on these criminal laws, because after all, legislations after 150 years bring everybody in the opposition and ruling party together. Like, Lokpal bill, we had that kind of discussion. GST law. So nobody gained here. It's politically foolish, apart from the other proprietary issues.
I have to stop you for a moment because we've run out of time, but I think all three of you have raised very valid concerns. I have certainly been illuminated, enlightened by this discussion, because I think it's time for us to look beyond the noise, to look at the real issues that are bedeviling our democracy. One doesn't believe that Indian democracy is so flawed that it will collapse overnight. But we must remain sentinels, constantly guarding against any excesses. That's why we did this Parliament Roundtable. Yogendra Yadav, Prakash, Narayan, Rajat, Sethi, thank you all very much for joining me on the show tonight. Bye for now. Stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Namaskar.